Hey guys, Pitmaster here. I'm here with Fato, and we're gonna do Sensei UFC Sao Paulo. Sao Paulo,
Brazil.
In Brazil. It was a good card, and I'm gonna show you a couple things that I saw from this fight that you can take into your dojo and make you or your students better martial artists. Because there's some they leave really good hints on what to do and what not to do. If you watch the fights, and you can watch it just to be entertained, or you can watch it to be entertained and educated. And I do both. So let's go over a couple of the fights. The first one I'm gonna talk about was Renan Barão against Ewell. Good fight. Number one thing that I noticed about that fight was Barão, who has really good aggressive technique. If you notice in the beginning of the fight, he ran forward with his hands about here like this. Okay? Now, doing a blitz is one thing. And I'll teach you how to do a blitz, okay? If you look here, you'll see some of our blitz. I'll put it up here in the card. You just click the little thing up there. But when you do a blitz, it's all about footwork and hand positioning. Your hands should stay up, your shoulders should be up, and your foot should shuffle, right? Your front foot should shuffle. You should not cross feet and start punching like this. Barão knocked his opponent pretty good with one punch, but then ran forward, and his opponent just stood there with the right hand, and Barão ran right into it and got dropped. Okay? Right into it. When you're doing a blitz, or you're getting aggressive in any way, keep your hands up and your chin down. And don't cross your feet. Okay? Do not cross your feet. Your feet should be just like this. Okay? Okay? Watch again. See that? Hands up, chin down, and your step dragon. Watch. Okay? Not like this. And that's what Barão did. Second thing I want to talk about that fight was Ewell. He had really nice straight punches. Almost all his punches were straight, and he was able to keep the distance from Barão. He was able to keep the distance with long straight punches and bidirectional, right? Lateral movement. In other words, he was going both ways. He wasn't just moving one way. You'd be able to predict the way he's going. And then his opponent would be able to capitalize. But he went both ways and used long straight punches, and that's how he won the fight. I want to talk about Spawn against Henrique and Oliveira against Giagos. Okay? Both of these fights had something in common. It was more of a striker fighting more of a grappler, and in both cases, the striker made the big mistake of throwing looping, long right hands when their opponent was close enough to capitalize. And when you do that, jabbing is okay because you're not committing this back hip. And in both these fights, the grappler was able to duck under their wide right hooks and get the takedown. Okay? You're giving them your hip when you do that. So what you should be doing is a lot more front hands. That's a given if you're fighting a grappler. Number two, it has to be more snapping. Snapping short punches. And in both of these cases, they were long looping punches where you practically give your opponent the hip. You're giving him the hip. The hip's here, and you're giving it to them. Okay, now it's here. He has possession of his hips. Once he has possession of your hips, he has possession of your soul. Okay?
It's kind of like giving a woman your heart.
It's like giving a woman your heart. You just don't want to do it. Okay? In one of these fights, the guy got back up, but he ended up losing. The other fight, the Oliveira fight, he gave him his hip. Oliveira took advantage of it, took him down, and choked him right out. So it didn't end well. So remember, guys, when you're fighting a grappler, reverse punches, right? So it snaps right back. Short punches, all right? And the majority of your punches should be with your front hand because you don't commit your hip, right? You're just here. You understand? All right, guys. Another fight I want to talk about was Smiling Alvey against Little Nog.
Little Nog.
Now, the thing I noticed about this fight was, and I'm never judging the fighters. You know that. I've said that before. I'm never judging the guys. I'm just trying to learn little things to teach you and give you lessons. So here's a lesson. And if I'm out of line in this one, then I'm out of line. But I'm trying to teach you a lesson. I think Alvey hurt Little Nog. It looked like he was hurt. I mean, he had a look like he was hurt. And Alvey just circled more. And then he looks like he hurt him again, but he still just circled. And then later in the round, I think, could have been the next round, but I think it was later in the round, Little Nog caught Alvey, and he hurt him kind of the same way that Alvey hurt Little Nog, but Little Nog jumped on it, and he finished him off. He finished him off right there. When you're fighting, guys, you have to be able to read your opponent. If you hurt them, you need to capitalize because you might not get that chance again, and when they hurt you, they will capitalize, okay? I'm not saying put your chin up and just swing wild, but if you hurt your opponent, right, don't just move around, don't clinch and give them a break, all right? Step it up and go in for the kill. All right, chin down, hands up, and go in for the kill. It looked like Alvey maybe could have got a knockout, maybe not. But it looked like he really hurt Little Nog, but he didn't capitalize. So, read your opponent's eyes and body language. And if you think you hurt them, I'm not saying go crazy and put your chin up and go, but go in for the kill. So that is my Sensei UFC. Thanks for coming, Sao Paulo. And check it out. Please comment. Please subscribe. And I'll see you guys later.